The UK and India are set to relaunch negotiations to clinch a multi-billion-pound free trade agreement. The UK Business and Trade Secretary Jonathan Reynolds is in New Delhi to meet his Indian counterpart Piyush Goyal. This is the first visit of the UK Trade Secretary to India since the Labour government came to power. The negotiations, which are now in their 15th round, aim to establish a free trade agreement to boost the over £41 billion trade relationship between the two nations. Ahead of the visit, Reynolds said that the UK wants to take its trading relationship with India to the next level, and this trade deal forms the bedrock of this commitment. UK Investment Minister Poppy will also be in India to promote the UK as the best place for Indian businesses to invest. India and the UK are currently the 5th and 6th largest global economies, respectively. India has been the second biggest source of FDI into the UK for 5 consecutive years, with investments increasing 28% year on year. The UK is seeking lower tariffs on goods such as cars and whiskey and increased access for British lawyers and financial services companies. In return, India has asked for quicker processing of skilled professionals headed to the UK, an exemption from UK's planned carbon border adjustment mechanism. Talks on other issues are already in advanced stages. The India-UK FTA negotiations had started in January 2022, but was put on hold last year when the then British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak called for snap polls in the UK. And for more details on that, our Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhan Subol, has sent us this report.
India and the UK have agreed to restart the free trade agreement talks, the negotiations for which will now proceed both here in India and in the UK. Now, essentially, last year the trade talks were paused because of the election cycle both in India and the UK. Now, there's a lot at stake when it comes to these FTA talks, especially when it comes to billions of dollars worth of trade between the two countries, which support a lot of jobs in the two countries. There will be, of course, both sides keen to have concessions. The UK side will be keen that there are a reduction in tariffs. The Indian side will be keen on issuance of more visas as well. But all in all, we know that trade negotiations aren't easy, but they do pay a lot of dividends once concluded. We know that India has had a mini trade agreement with the Australians last few years, with the Emiratis as well. And if the free trade agreement with the UK happens and is concluded, it could be a template for India's free trade agreement with the EU as well. So essentially, at a time when we know that Trump's policies have been changing the trading world, especially with his orders on reciprocal tariffs, countries are keen on free trade agreement, and that could be one of the reasons of the Indians and the British side hastening up the free trade agreement talks. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Siddhan Subol for WION in New Delhi.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.